Namaskar. Welcome to the 5-day FDP on emerging issues in higher education and research. As a part of this FDP, we have lined up an eminent scholars and professors from various universities of repute for sharing their wealth of knowledge with the participants. Today, we are very fortunate to have with us Professor NVR Jyoti Kumar, professor from Mizoram University, is going to share a topic on the role and responsibilities of the teacher or the faculty in the context of NEP 2020. As you're all aware, National Education Policy 2020 is a historical plan document. This policy initiative of the government, central government, has put the entire higher education in the context of the change, in a sense like more flexibility is coming into the higher education. The students or the learners are having a lot of flexibility in the context of choosing their majors and minors, and they can take a break with the concept of entry and exit, multiple entry, multiple exits. So it is user friendly to the core, but at the same time, it is having a lot of challenges for the institution. So you don't know sometimes who will be your next year student. The first year student may not be there in the second year. So with this type of changing scenarios, the teacher must be well prepared to face these type of challenges. At the same time, they should also be well equipped with the technology, because the course curriculum and design is also going to be having sea change. So we can embed the online with the offline mode. So blended modes may be the order of the day. So in this context, we have with us a very senior professor and a professor of par excellence, and a professor with human approach. Professor NVR Jyoti Kumar is going to deliver a topic on the changing role of the teacher, changing role and responsibilities of the teacher in the context of National Education Policy 2020. Before the resource person, Professor NVR Jyoti Kumar, starts his talk, I request my colleague and the student of Professor NVR Jyoti Kumar, Dr. Mohammad Rahman, the senior assistant professor of the Department of Business Administration, PV Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, will formally introduce our chief resource person of today's session. Over to Mr. Rahman.
Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. M.D.S. Rahman, Assistant Professor, PV Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, Vijayawada. I am delighted to introduce our today's resource person and my direct guru. So 35 years ago, Professor NVR Jyoti Kumar. So he is well experienced and well organized and excellent academician, author, writer, editor, philosopher, and mentor. He was initially served VRN and VRN College, Chirala, AP for 19 years in the Department of Commerce and Business Studies. He has been with Mizoram Central University since 2004. He is having 4 decades of teaching experience. He served as head of the Department of Commerce and as a dean, School of Economics, Management and Information Science, Mizoram University. So he was 15 PhD scholars were awarded, PhDs were awarded under his esteemed guidance and supervision. So he published 80 research papers in journals of national and international repute and 3 reference books, and also lesson writer for distance education program of various universities, including the IGNOU. And regularly he is contributing the articles in the editorial page in Eenadu Telugu Vernacular Daily and contributed over 80 articles. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rahman, for meeting you online on this occasion. And at the outset, I express my thankfulness to the institution, is PB Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, Vijayawada. It is a well-known college in the state of Andhra Pradesh, in both the Telugu states, and I'm happy to meet my very good friend, Professor Rajesh. I mean, he's a very old friend of mine, and I've been associated with this particular institution in different capacities. And when they asked me to spare some of my ideas on this particular topic, then I thought it is an opportunity for me too to meet the younger faculty members, because faculty development is an important agenda of higher education institutions, right? And so this is an opportunity for me to meet the younger faculty members, especially. And this is a topic given to me, the changing roles and responsibilities of teachers in higher education institutions in the context of national education policy 2020. And I know I'm addressing the faculty members across the country, and we have different states, and some may be working in the university system, some may be working in the colleges, some may be working in the PG departments, and some may be working in the undergraduate departments. Whatever it may be, as teachers, we all know that we are one important stakeholder. As teachers, we are one important stakeholder in our education system in the country. So this is the topic, and without taking much time, I just want to discuss some of my ideas on this particular theme. And the first three, four slides I want to skip, because I want to discuss these three or four slides maybe towards the end. It is about technology, use of technology in education, maybe the latest technology we consider artificial intelligence or machine learning as the latest technology. So these three or four slides, I mean, I would like to discuss about these slides towards the end of this session. And um, we are aware of the state of higher education system in India, and ours is the second largest system, and around 4 crore students they enroll for their UG and PG programs in higher education system, in higher education institutions in the country. And we have over 55,000 higher education institutions in the country, including nearly 1,500 universities. Just to see the size of the size of higher education system in the country. Over 55,000 higher education institutions, including around 1,500 universities we have. And ours is the second largest system next to America and China. And the immediate task of our nation is to double gross enrollment ratio from 26% to 50% by 2035. That is, in next 10 years, we are going to double our gross enrollment ratio. And compared to other nations, right now, these days we are claiming that ours is the fourth largest economy in the world in terms of gross domestic product, and in next 3 years we are going to emerge as the third largest economy in the world by 2027. Of course, that is a claim we have, and but as far as the gross enrollment ratio is concerned, India is having a very low GER. So this is our immediate task. That is, it highlights expanding access to higher education. So this is our immediate task, and I think it is we are going to achieve it without much difficulty. Of course, there are other issues of higher education like quality and equity, right? Access, quality, and equity. These three are important issues concerning education system as such in India. And of course, this particular objective, it is about expanding access to higher education. And India is the second largest source of international students, next to China globally. right? And we all know that especially this college is particularly situated in a place of Andhra Pradesh where I mean there are a large number of NRI parents, right? And especially Vijayawada, I understand that there is a joke about Vijayawada that Vijayawada is a wonderful, I mean, it's a big town and a small city, but there is a joke about Vijayawada that there are a large number of NRA parents in in Vijayawada, right? And so this is the order of the day. And except during COVID period, I think there is a large scale outflow of Indian students to other countries, especially countries like America, Australia, New Zealand, and whatnot, right? And very difficult to find the countries where you don't find Indian students for their higher education. So this is one issue. Next to China, India is the second largest source of international students globally. Of course, we can discuss at length about this. Sometimes some economists, they call it, it reflects the brain drain of Indian students and from Indian context. But some people say, no, it is nothing but a brain gain, not brain drain. Of course, some people say, it is going to be like a reverse brain drain, reverse brain drain, right? So there are different perceptions about this, but this is one important issue confronting Indian education system. And as mentioned by Professor Rajesh in his initial opening remarks, he mentioned some of the characteristics of NEP, National Education Policy 2020. And through this policy document, India wanted to open up a highly regulated and largely a closed academic system. And that means our policymakers, they realized that so far we have not opened up our education system, and ours is like a closed system. And one of the objectives of NEP, as initiated by the government of India, is they want to deploy major investment and they want to enhance their investments in social sector, especially in education system, by allotting 6% of GDP. This is the ideal situation, and they want to achieve it through this policy document, maybe in next 20 years, 10, 20, 25 years. So these are the some of the, so they want to introduce already different states, they have introduced various reforms, because education is not only the union subject, it is also the state subject. And we already introduced the various reforms in the form of entry and exit option, academic bank of credits, 4-year degree programs, lateral entry into PG programs, internship and dissertation, multidisciplinary approach, and so on. And of course, all universities are not the same. And because NEP is like a roadmap, it is a policy document, no doubt about that. At the same time, it is a roadmap, and depending upon the resources available, it is up to the education institutions to go about it, right? And I just want to share my experience at Mizoram University. At Mizoram University, Mizoram University is one of the pioneering universities in the country, which adopted NEP 2020, and our first batch of PG students. They're just writing their final semester examinations as of now, and for UG programs, we introduced the NEP last academic year. And because as a central university, we want to adapt it in the right perspective as far as possible. And so these are some of the features, and each of these features, they have their own challenges, as rightly mentioned by Professor Rajesh. And it may not be possible for you to make your student sit in our college, in our classroom, till the completion of the academic program. he has option to leave the program maybe after 1 year or maybe after 2 years. It is possible for him. And at Mizoram University, we have introduced 4-year UG programs as well. And the participants, the younger faculty members can see the website of Mizoram University. And for example, as commerce professor, I should say that we already designed a 4-year BCom program. And of course, students have option to quit the program after 3 years, after 2 years as well, right? And we have BCom honors 4-year program, and we have BCom research. And as per NEP's philosophy, once a student completes successfully become research 4-year program, that means that particular program is equivalent to PG also. That means it is possible for the student to apply for admission into PhD program after 4-year BCom research program, thereby skipping or leapfrogging MCom, right? So that is, of course, we design the program, and we have to see how the colleges are going to. It is up to the colleges whether really they want to have that, they want to execute that program or not. It is up to the colleges, right? And we have academic bank of credits at place, because we must be ready to accept the students of other institutions, including some international students, right? And in Mizoram University, we already signed MOUs with some of the foreign universities. And some of our students, they want to study some of the courses in the foreign university as part of exchange program. And their students, we are ready to host those students for pursuing some of their courses in our university, right? And lateral entry into PG programs, we discussed about it. And internship and dissertation, this is going to be one big challenge, right? And of course, as far as commerce and management students are concerned, we all know that depending upon the place, we have some industry. It is possible to have collaboration with industry. But no, this internship and dissertation has become a salient feature of NEP, and whether it is MA Psychology or MA Public Administration or MA Political Science or MA Biology or Life Sciences, MA Physics, MSc Physics or MSc Chemistry, right? Whether it is science or arts or commerce or social science or languages, right? This internship and dissertation has become an integral part of national education policy. So now the challenge is, of course, state like Mizoram, state like Arunachal Pradesh, northeastern states. They're very small states with hardly 11 lakh population, with one MP seat, right? You could understand the size of the economy. And you don't find a very large scale industry there, and you don't find vibrant manufacturing sector there, and agriculture is still dominant. And we have a dominant MSME sector, micro, small, and medium enterprises, right? So what kind of internship, what kind of dissertation it is possible for our students to have, and how to have this interaction, how to have a dialogue with the industry, what kind of linkage it is possible for our department with the industry that is existent in Mizoram is a big challenge for us, right? And and another thing is multidisciplinary approach. So as a teacher of commerce, now I am teaching entrepreneurship for non-commerce students, because it is possible for any student to become an entrepreneur. So it is not that only commerce and management students are more qualified and competent to become an entrepreneur. So any person could become an entrepreneur, right? And I'm teaching marketing management not for MCOM students, and I'm teaching marketing management for non-commerce students. Of course, it is only 2-credit program. And my colleagues are in colleges. They are teaching personal finance. They are teaching financial literacy. They are teaching basics of management. Such papers they are teaching for non-commerce students, right? And there is some MOUs happened between the colleges in Mizoram University. So students of one particular college, they are studying certain courses, pursuing certain courses in some other colleges, right? So such type of arrangements we did. But beauty, see, small is beautiful, and advantage in Mizoram is, certain policies not that difficult to execute, because system is so small and without much complications, right? And the change to resistance is easy to address, right? System is very small. And CBCS also, choice based credit system also, when it was introduced in 2013, I think Mizoram University is one of pioneer universities introducing CBCS system way back in 2012 2013. So this is about the scenario, the salient features of NEP 2020. I think my colleagues, my younger colleagues, they have their own experiences about all these things. Are they just on the paper, or are they in the process of executing these features? You know, that is one question mark. And then see, higher education system in India, and so these are some of the challenges and opportunities. And NEP's focus is on internationalization. Internationalization of higher education in India has become an important issue these days. And so how to attract foreign students to India? This has become our national policy. And in order to attract at least some foreign students to India, and many higher education institutions, especially universities, they're in the process of building links and programs with top ranking foreign universities. And as you know, foreign universities, they are also interested to have linkages with better universities in India, right? And so many universities, they have already set up international student offices in their institutions. And the governments, especially the state governments, they are in the process of attracting some foreign branch campuses to their states. So this is a changed scenario. So we have to understand all these things as an important stakeholders, as teachers, and what is our role in the process, in the global, in the changed global stage, on the on the changed global stage. What is the role I am going to play as a teacher? What is the role you are going to play as a teacher? So this is an issue, right? And so these are some other challenges and opportunities. And I need not explain. I need not explain much about the importance of accreditation, assessment, and accreditation, and NAC and NBA, National Board of Accreditation, and NAC. So these are two external bodies responsible for assessment and accreditation. But the reality is, you know, these days. Honorable governors and honorable education ministers of various states and union minister for education, and they are frequently, and even honorable president of India, they are frequently asking one direct question to higher education institutions that what about quality? What about our ranking in international scenario? India's ranking in international scenario as far as quality of education is concerned. But the reality is only 14% of colleges, just 14% of colleges, and 35% of universities, they are accredited by NAC. That means, what about other colleges? What about other universities? Even universities, you know, most of the universities, they are supported by the state governments, right? And there are many private universities also. But, you know, 65% of universities, they are not yet accredited by NAC. So the quality of education being, I'm not saying that they are low quality, you know, universities. I'm not saying that those 86% of colleges are low quality colleges. But the thing is, you know, we need evidence about our performance, right? And what we are teaching, what kind of research happening in those institutions. So public has right to know about it, and the parents have right to know about it, and the prospective employers have right to know about it, because education institution, whether it is funded by the state government or central government, whether it is a private institution, whatever it may be, they are, I mean, broadly, I'm using the word, they are responsible to the public. They are responsible to the society, and they are part of the society, and no institution is not above the society, right? So this is one important gray area we need to address. Then Indian education system, it is suffering from internal bureaucracy, and there are cumbersome government regulations, and frequently we are seeing the headlines in the newspapers that there is a growing conflicts between the central government, the union government, and different states. And there are certain states like West Bengal where there are two kinds of vice chancellors, right? One group of vice chancellors are being appointed by honorable governor, and one group of vice chancellors are being appointed by the state government. So right from the appointment of the vice chancellors, I mean, is it so difficult to appoint a vice chancellor for any institution? Why there is a conflicting kind of animosity between the state government and the governor's office? So these are some of the questions public, So finally, reputation of an institution, reputation of a university, I mean, it is very much dependent on the vice chancellor, the kind of vice chancellor, and his leadership or her leadership quality, and the way he or she is going to be appointed. This is one. So just I want to give these examples just to highlight the importance of higher education and what kind of attitude we have towards higher education institutions, right? And so these are some of so it is not like there are opportunities and there are challenges, it is not like you don't find a list of opportunities, and my intention is not to list out opportunities and challenges separately, right? And each of these points is an opportunity for some institutions, whereas for others it may be a challenge, right? So underfunded for decades. This is a big challenge in India, and higher education system as such, education system as such, it is being underfunded for decades in India, and bulk of higher education resides in colleges and state universities, right? And NEP promises major infusion of funds and quality enhancement, and massive expansion of enrollment require adequate funding, and India's spend on education the lowest among BRICS nations. Why I'm saying so? One side, we are claiming that India is the second largest higher education system, and it was a third largest education system for a long time. Now it is second largest education system. But BRICS are more comparable with India is more comparable with Brazil, with Russia, with China, and with South Africa, right? But our intention is to spend 6% of GDP on education. I'm not saying higher education only, education as such, right? And that is the government's intention. It is government's intention. But the ground reality is, as a country, we are not spending even half of it. And we all know the importance of demographic dividend, and our governments, they are claiming that we are going to be a developed nation, Vikasit Bharat by 2047, and that is our vision and Prime Minister's vision as well. And we are trying to gain confidence to achieve that particular goal. And this particular 25-year period, 25 year period, we consider it as Amritkal. That means a golden period, right? So we want to harness the golden opportunities, and we want to address some of these challenges to make India a developed nation by 2047. And that is also the advantage of India vis-a-vis other nations. And many developed nations, whether it is America or many European nations, or countries like Australia or New Zealand, right? Or some Asian countries like Japan and China. Our advantage is ours is a younger nation. And we all know the importance of demographic dividend. We want to harness demographic dividend, which we have. But please remember, dear friends, and this demographic dividend we are going to this advantage, this demographic advantage, we are going to have in the next 15 years only. But by 2047, by 2050, India is going to be an aged nation, just like other nations. So my simple question to the policymakers and my simple question to the participants is it possible for India to emerge as a Vikasit Bharat in next 24 years, in next 25 years, by neglecting, without harnessing this demographic dividend? That is a big question, right? And especially bulk of higher education resides in colleges and state universities. That means, you see, if you see the higher education, there must be many participants, many faculty members working in colleges, teaching undergraduate courses. And I came from a college, though I couldn't get opportunity to teach for become student so far. That is a disadvantage I have, right? And I have a lot of respect for those teachers who are teaching their UG courses, because after plus two, when teachers, when students, when they join the college, when they get admission in the colleges, right? And they are tender, and they are they are not, you cannot consider them, they're teenage people, and they are not adults, right? And they are not very matured, right? And 80% of the burden of our students, it is being taken care of by the state universities and colleges. And NEP, the salient features of NEP, if you see, a lot of burden is on colleges rather than on universities, I should say. Of course, universities, their responsibility is to design the programs, right? It is their responsibility. Of course, most of the universities, they're responsible for their PG programs and PhD programs. But UG programs, they are in colleges. But if we understand the ground realities as far as the college administration, governance of colleges is concerned, right? And most of the colleges, they are really not equipped to execute NEP 2020, except a few colleges like Siddhartha. Siddhartha College, I consider as an ideal, they have an ideal situation to execute NEP, because it is a multidisciplinary college, and it is a well-known college, and commitment is there on the part of the management, right? And such colleges are not many, unfortunately, right? And many state governments, so they stopped filling up of the vacancies in government colleges, and also in state universities. So now the big question is how it is possible without supporting colleges, without supporting state universities. They need support, not only in terms of finances, they need support in terms of manpower and proper appointments, right? And by ignoring colleges and by ignoring state governments, I'm afraid, we are ignoring the future of next generations, right? That is my concern. Well, and so at this point of time, I think 30 minutes gone. And at this point of time, I once again request the participants, whatever feelings and whatever ideas you have, whatever observations you have, don't hesitate to mention it in the chat box. And some of the observations, and it may be in the form of question also, no problem about it, right? And some of the questions I would like to take up for discussion towards the end of my session, right? So let us make it a two-way communication rather than a one-way communication. So some of us may be good, but not great. Our universities want to be associated with the world-class universities of other countries. But do we have any world-class universities? This is a question. Do we have any world-class universities, and what are they? Around 1,500 universities we have, right? So where does India stand on global stage? So these are some of the results of on this particular slide, it highlights the where we stand as a country as far as quality of higher education is concerned. So only Indian Institute of Science, it is in the range of 251 and 300, and 75 universities included, but far down on the list. And outstanding specialized institutions like IITs, IIMs. So we have outstanding specialized institutions, institutions of national importance like IITs and IIMs. Getting admission is not easy, and the products of our higher educational institutions, not only IITs and IIMs, even other engineering colleges and other degree colleges also. Like there are many constant colleges in Delhi, right? And whether so for many world-class companies like Google or Microsoft, you just name top 20 world-class companies, and most of those companies are the US-based companies. And we all know the prominent CEOs of those companies, they had their roots in Indian education system, right? That is one thing. But there is the other side of the coin. On a flip side, the problem is, we have a large number of students who are unemployable and lacking the skills compared to many other countries. So this is a big challenge we need to address, right? And due to poor absorption capacity, so 78% of India's colleges are in private sector. So these are some of the ground realities. 78% of India's colleges in India, they are in private sector. They account for 66% of total student enrollment in India. And we have 450 private universities, and most of them are known for their poor quality. These are not my opinion. Please remember, dear friends, I'm not giving my opinions, and whatever facts and figures I'm giving, it is based on the credible sources which I accessed, right? So based on that, I'm giving some of these observations. So please remember, dear friends, education is no longer a public good, right? And education has, I mean, we allowed the market forces. I'm normally, we don't like to use the commercialization or market forces, all these things. This is a technical jargon of economics. It's not fair to use that jargon in case of health and in case of education. But I have to use that jargon because almost 80% of colleges in India, they are in private sector. I'm not saying that the private sector is bad, and I'm not saying that whatever the education institutions they are working in public sector, the so-called state sector or public sector, they are doing wonders. I'm not saying like that. But please remember, education, unfortunately, has become a commercial product, has become a commercial commodity in this country. So they account for 66% of total student enrollment in India. So we have 450 private universities, and most of them are known for their poor quality. So here the issue is about quality. The issue is about equity. And we know my father's generation and my generation, right? If we consider last 3-4 generations who had access to higher education, we should say because of their access to higher education, I mean, they are able to compete with others, because we all know the importance of education. Education has become an important tool and perhaps only weapon available for middle class or lower middle class or marginalized sections of the society. Through education only it is possible for you. Through education only it is possible for a farmer's son, a poor farmer's son, a lower middle class fellow. Through education only it is possible for them to compete with others. So through education, it is possible for them not only to earn livelihood and to earn respect in the society, but once it has become a commodity, a marketable commodity, a commercial commodity, now the biggest issue is, so far, education has become a big social equalizer. It has become a big social enabler, right, to achieve some social inequality in the society. But if only rich people or people who could afford quality education, if they get quality education, then I'm afraid to say that education is going to be a source of great social inequality in the country. So is it possible to achieve Viksit Bharat by 2047 by ignoring a large sections of the people just because they don't have access to education, just because they don't have access to quality education? Access is one thing, quality is one thing, and equity is one thing. So, national education policy document, I think you must have read it already. And dear friends, if someone has not yet read it, it is 60 plus pages, only 65, 64 pages document. Please go through it, because as an important stakeholder in higher education system, it is my responsibility to execute it. And I have to play, and you have to play your role, and I have to play my role to achieve the grand vision of our Prime Minister, Vikasit Bharat by 2047. And by ignoring education, I don't think it is possible to achieve that goal with social equity. Vikasit Bharat with social equity is more important, right? That is why governments have a responsibility. I mean, to invest. It is not spending. It is not mere spending. To invest their money on education. But unfortunately, see, someone said, I mean, if you invest on education, next generation will be benefited. But we should have patience to wait for next generation to emerge as victorious. But if you invest on other things, we call it freebies, right? Then the party in power will maybe benefited, maybe not necessarily, maybe benefited in the next election. So this is one of the crux of the issue. Just I'm trying to take into your notice, right? And of course, please remember, we're all leaders, and we are the change agents. And as teachers, we are expected to play different roles and responsibilities. And of course, I don't want to focus much on this why faculty development, because these are basic things. And teaching is a ethically and intellectually demanding profession. I don't want to elaborate these things, already. And faculty in higher education join without any formal training, right? A medical doctor requires training, a formal training. A chartered accountant requires a formal training. A lawyer requires a formal training. Even a school teacher requires a formal training in the form of B.Ed. But what kind of formal training we have as teachers in higher education system? Nothing except attending this type of programs. So development and implementation of FDP in higher education, it is a mandate of UGC, and HRDCs now we call it Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Centers, MMTTCs, and there are about 65 plus institutions in this country. And my simple advice to you is try to attend this type of programs, right? Not just for the sake of next promotion, one orientation, one refresher course is required to get next promotion. It is not just in that sense. It is not just in that sense. Try to update, try to upskill yourself, and try to refresh yourself, right, academically and intellectually, by attending some of these programs, right? And I don't want to. So we have a responsibility. We have a different roles to play, and we have different roles to play. We are not mere teachers. So, see, I'm a teacher, I'm a research guide. Sometimes I was head of the department, sometimes I was dean of the school. Some of you may be working as heads, and some may become a principal of the college sooner or later. And you will become a senior faculty after a few years. And so I'm supposed to be a teacher, research guide, writer, author, textbook writer, counselor to my student, evaluator, examiner, member of a committee, IQAC coordinator, or chairman of a particular committee. And I'm also responsible in governance of the institution where I'm employed. So I need to be familiarized with structure, functioning, governance, rules, regulations, and professional expectations in higher education system. So one speaker, I think Dr. Arun Kumar is going to speak about pedagogical processes, right? Designing of syllabus, right? And instructional planning, classroom management, use of resources and assessment. So institutions are different. We have wide variety of institutions in this country. We have a wide variety of institutions. And each institution is operating in a particular ecosystem. That is why they are different in terms of all these things. We need to understand these things. And don't try to blame the system. Don't try to blame the environment where you are operating. Don't try to blame your colleague. Don't try to blame your principal. Don't try to blame the university to which you are affiliated. Because you opted to be a teacher. That is your choice. I opted to be in this profession. That was my choice. I exercised. So we need to play a proactive role. We need to understand these things, right? And recognizing the importance of self-development, socio-emotional development of students, and the importance of nurturing ethics and values. So this is one important area. We need to just not just taking 2 periods a day, 3 periods a day, not just like completing the syllabus, not just giving some notes or giving some study material or sharing some links. These days, our students have WhatsApp groups, and sometimes it's very easy to share some e-resources, some links. Very easy to read, why to teach so much. Because we consider they're already intelligent and they know how to how to prepare for the exams. And finally, of course, paper setter. I'm going to be the paper setter. I'm going to be the evaluator. So sometimes students may be very happy because they're expecting some questions and they are appearing, those questions are appearing in the question paper in the same order without much, so they need not use much creativity to answer those questions. All 40 students give same standard answers. Yesterday, I was listening to Professor Sunaina's class. So if there is only one answer for a particular question, if all students are giving that answer, I should say that there is something wrong with the students. There is something wrong with the class, with the teacher who has set that question paper. So in COVID time, I think I read some news item that IIT Delhi, I think, and the question is very simple. Based on discussion what we had in this semester, form the questions and answer those questions. 3 questions. That is a question given in during COVID time. Based on discussion what we had last 3 months, form 3 questions yourself and answer those questions. That is a question paper of IIT Delhi in one particular course. So we should make our students, question the system. We should make our students to think. They are not just like Xerox machines. We should not reduce their level to simple Xerox machines producing something as an answer. We have to make them as thinking people. Creative thinking is very much important, especially in social sciences, right? And that is why yesterday Professor Sunaina was talking about research-based learning, research-based teaching. And I'm afraid that is very much missing even in universities. And so faculty are expected to understand higher education in India, global perspectives, vision, challenges, and impact, agencies, structures, issues, and challenges, institutional planning and development, faculty place in the structure. What is your place as a faculty in the structure in terms of roles, in terms of each role demands a particular responsibilities, particular expectations. And we are responsible to the employer. We are responsible to our colleagues. We are responsible not only to our students, we are equally responsible to the parents. We are responsible for prospective employers of our students. What is their expectation, right? And we need to develop professional relationships, professional relations with colleagues, with colleagues with teachers of other institutions, and try to become a member of a professional body. And in your field, in your subject, there may be 3 or 4 prominent professional bodies at national level, if not international level, at national level, at regional level, at state level, and try to become a member, active member of those professional. So that would make your job quite interesting. See, okay, just I will proceed. So this is about curriculum and pedagogy and curricular aims, content, pedagogy, resources assessment, interdisciplinary approach, understanding credits, grading systems, designing a course, CBCS. So this is very much important, right? And classroom dynamics like learning outcomes, teaching methods, handling a diverse classroom. I mean, right? There are students from other departments, right? And our students also go to other departments, right? So handling a diverse classroom, encouraging group work, collaborative learning, self-study habits. So this is very much missing these days, self-study habits. And just a kind of thinking if students have everything is in the Google has become a global guru these days. Whatever teacher is teaching, it is easily available in the Google. Why should I go to the class? I know kind of PPT what teacher is using in the class, and those points are easily available. Why should I go to the class? So by absenting my class, if that student is also getting more or less same marks, then I don't find any fault with the student. It may be my fault as a teacher. So I'm making classroom regularity or attending the class a redundant activity. And what kind of reward the students are getting by attending my class? And what kind of penalty the student, penalty not in terms of money, I'm telling you. What is that is losing in terms of knowledge, in terms of motivation, in terms of habits by not attending my class. So my class should be interesting to me first. Please remember, after 40 years of my experience, a little bit, I may be little elder to you in terms of seniority, not necessarily in terms of knowledge, but in terms of seniority. I get a lot of my strength from my class only. And word of mouth is very much important. Word of mouth is very much important. What students speak of their teachers in their absence, that matters ultimately. My image as a teacher, your image as a teacher depends on what students think of us, think of me, think of you after leaving the campus. That matters. That is why it is a highly respectable profession. Still, it is considered as a noble profession. Despite market forces, commercialization, many things, still next to parents, our students, they love, they respect the teacher. Next to our parents. If I ask you one simple question, what are your favorite teachers? You come across not many faces, you come across 3 or 4 faces. Maybe teaching at primary level or higher secondary level or PhD level, I don't know. But you don't get many faces, you get 3 or 4 faces only. So students, please remember, dear friends, students remember very bad teachers very well. Students also remember very good teachers very well. Students, they don't bother much about who are just average type. So it's our choice, like, normal distribution curve, right? It is our choice where you want to place yourself as a teacher in the mind of the students, from the perspective of the students. How you want to position yourself as a teacher, it is up to you. And some students, some teachers respect their colleagues very much. And sometimes we command a lot of respect from our colleagues, not only from students. What is the difference? Why others are not able to command the same respect? Why my colleagues are able to command more respect than me? Why principal is giving some important work to my colleague but not to me? Maybe he's having a lot of trust about him. So I don't know about other corporate, the organizations in other corporate sectors, but in teaching, I should say some teachers get always some work, and some teachers they don't get much work. Other than teaching, I'm telling you. So why it is happening, right? And research and professional development. And yesterday also, Professor Sunaina spoke about that. But see, our workshop is mostly about to discuss about emerging issues relating to teaching and research. So I want to focus on those two things. So role of research in teaching, research for professional development and institutional development, research possibilities in terms of interdisciplinary, collaborative, and action research, right? These things we need to understand, right? And if you happen to be a teacher of social sciences, right, just visit the website of ICSSR, and what kind of themes, what kind of support they're providing to the researchers, upcoming researchers, and what kind of research they're expecting from us. Impactful research. What do you mean by impactful research? And the research we are going to, they are highlighting interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary research. Because for any research problem, for any problem these days, you don't find a complete answer in one particular discipline. Unless you understand, unless you collaborate with the other disciplines, right? It's not possible for you to get a meaningful answer or a fruitful solution for any problem. So we need to touch upon different disciplines, related disciplines, in order to do justice to research. That is the idea, right? Then, and please remember, because we wanted to be teachers in higher education system, it is our responsibility to focus on teaching and research. It is not teaching slash research, please remember. It is not teaching or research. It is teaching and research. And they are not opposite. Teaching is primary obligation, and research and publications, they demand commitment of time, right? And I need not explain about these things, they are self-explanatory. So how to strike a balance between the two? So it is possible to achieve excellence in both. One should have aspiration to achieve excellence in both. Excellence is not an end point. Excellence is not a destination. And excellence, make excellence as your journey. Make excellence as your travel. And please don't think it should only happen after crossing 50 years. Please don't think it happens only after submission of PhD. And we should try to achieve it in everything what we are going to do as a teacher. Teacher is only one word I am using, but I mentioned different roles we are playing as a teacher. We should not be biased. We should be above caste, religion, and other things. When student, so if a medical doctor is bothering about the caste of the patient, if the army person who is working on the border state of Mizoram, Myanmar, Mizoram, India border, right? If he is bothering about the caste and religion of the people whom he is serving, right? I don't think they are doing justice for them. Same is the case with the teachers. And we need to be perceived by our students that we are balanced and we have genuine love for them, cutting across caste lines and other things. And so there are many similarities between two endeavors, teaching and research. High degree of knowledge in contemporary issues is a must in both teaching and research. Do you think that, high degree of knowledge in contemporary issues, what do you mean by that? Good analytical skills is very much required, whether it is teaching or research. And articulation and communication skills is a must in both the endeavors. But there is a difference. There is a difference. Yesterday, Professor Sunaina was talking about delayed gratification, persistence, consistency, patience, perseverance, and research and publications demand commitment of time. I can say that I have 10 years of teaching experience. I can say I have 15 years of teaching experience. But immediately I would get a question, one simple question I want to ask myself, whether I have 10 years of teaching experience or have I taught the same lesson 10 times or 15 times. If I am teaching the same lesson 15 times or 10 times without much change, then I am reducing myself as a recorded YouTube video. Why should a student sit in my class? That is right, technology scenario I'm talking about it. I just wanted to talk about it. First three, four slides are about it only. So that means I'm reducing myself as a machine. Then if students feel that AI is better tool, ML is a better tool, machine learning, YouTube is a better tool, Google is a better tool. If they are considering them as tools, there is no problem. If they consider them as better teachers, then I don't blame the students. I have to blame myself as a teacher. So I'm allowing my students, I mean, to consider me just as a tool, not as a human being, as a human teacher. So please remember, research and public. See, in teaching, fundamentally, what we are doing in teaching? In teaching, we disseminate knowledge. In research, we create knowledge. That fundamentally, that is the difference. I'm not undermining teaching. I'm not undermining dissemination of knowledge. We are supposed to disseminate knowledge properly, and for that purpose, we need all these skills. And if a teacher is teaching Indian economy, if she is following a textbook, of course, she's a good publisher. But the textbook was published in 2017. She is very comfortable in following that book for last 7 years. But a lot of changes happened. She may be claiming there is not much difference in the syllabus, old syllabus and new syllabus. There's not much difference, same topics. It doesn't mean student can follow the same textbook, 2017 published book when she's teaching in 2014. Black money topic may be there. Unemployment topic may be there. Agricultural sector topic may be there. But 2017, 2024, there are a lot of changes. What is that government is doing all these years? What about the policy of the government? So if a teacher is not, if a teacher is entering the management class without reading the today's economic times or business standard or business line, but if students are able to have, these days, I mean, digital newspapers are available. Students are quite active and, they know what is happening. They know the impact of exit polls on stock markets and the opposition parties' allegations. And they know very well. And unfortunately, I was so busy for some reason, I couldn't read or couldn't see the news also. When I'm teaching something about that, and if the student feels that what I'm teaching is very old stuff and he knows better than me, please remember technology, I mean, due to availability of this digital technology and internet technology, and teachers, they are no longer enjoying the monopoly position. And we don't, gone are the days. And if you don't attend the class, if you miss the taking the notes of the student, then notes of the teacher, then you are going to lose heavily. Those days have gone, right? So these are some of the things, and so research supports high quality teaching, and it stimulates a discussion, challenges assumptions, reaffirms convictions, and raises new questions. Please remember, these are not two. Just try to combine research and teaching. It is not like research is different and teaching is different, and you are more, you are supposed to involve more in teaching and not in research. It is only a myth. And great teachers and good teachers and motivated teachers, they are supposed to indulge in both, right? And right? I think I discussed enough about teaching and research. And also, please remember the personal emotional development, life skills, counseling, and motivation from the student's perspective. So, emotional intelligence is very much important because we're handling human beings. And one peculiar thing in teaching is we may be growing in terms of age, of course, in knowledge also. And but the students' age, we're handling the same age group of students throughout our career, and it happens only in teaching. Our clientele, our students, they're of same age, with curious eyes, with learning curiosity, right? And so try to understand, try to improve your emotional intelligence, understanding myself, self-esteem, ability to reflect, relating to self and others, understanding students, their physical, mental, and emotional health, mentoring and guiding them. They have their own problems, please remember. I was a student some 40 years back. No television, not much distractions except cinema, except the movie, not much distractions. Movies didn't spoil us very much. But these days, a lot of attractions, a lot of undesirable attractions. Today's world is different. We need to understand them from these perspectives. So, understanding career development options for students, understanding ideas of counseling and coaching, building a strong institutional culture. So, these are within the hands of teachers. Please remember. If we don't focus on, so we all know that many institutions have become teaching shops. And this is the word, this is a line I'm taking from EPW in one of the articles. Many education institutions have become teaching shops. And we all know about Kota in Rajasthan. And that particular city is responsible for producing a large number of successful graduates who could crack national level competitive examinations. Fine, but its flip side is something different. That is a place where a large number of students are also committing suicides. Who is responsible for their suicides? Next to farming community, it is teachers who are committing large number of suicides in India. Next to farming community, statistics are there. Who is responsible for that? What is my role as a stakeholder? So we need to understand these things. Then, still 20 minutes time is there, and I will try to complete in next 10 minutes my presentation. Then I would like to spare some time for interaction. So these are the, what is the heading? Motivated, energized, and capable faculty. You remember where from you got? I know this particular phrase: motivated, energized, capable. See, whatever may be the policy doc, whatever may be the grade, people like Kasuri Rangan, stalwarts like such type of people, right? They are responsible in formulating National Education Policy 2020. Many brains were involved, top class brains were involved. And they had studied the best educational systems in the world. Finally, they prepared this particular document. But document may be so great, our plan may be so great. Document is nothing but plan, policy document. But finally, please remember, execution of any policy document depends on the teachers, because teachers are the main stakeholders. Its success mainly depends on you and me. And it is possible through motivated, energized, and capable faculty. Of course, I added the word accountable. Based on some literature, I added it. Professor Sorel, my friend who retired from ML Sukhadia University, Udaipur, I think he has, first time I listened to him, he used this particular word, accountable faculty. Motivated, energized, capable, and accountable faculty. So my humble submission to you is, dear friends, are you a satisfied teacher? Are you a motivated teacher? Are you a capable teacher? Are you a committed teacher? I can speak on these four questions. The next one, at least one. I need 60 minutes more to discuss about this, but just because of paucity of time, I just want to cut short. Please ask yourself: are you a satisfied teacher? You may be satisfied for different reasons, but it doesn't mean you are a motivated teacher. Satisfaction, job satisfaction is something different, and motivation is something different. First, my lecture should be interesting to me. First, my lecture should be inspirational to me. Then only it is possible for others to get motivation. Please remember. If my face is not looking attractive for me when I stand in front of the mirror, then it is not possible for me to impress the world. Very simple with this face. Very simple. So, are you a capable teacher? Are you a committed teacher? These questions you please ask yourself always. Just I want to apply one particular theory of motivation. And of course, teachers of commerce and management, teachers of psychology, teachers of public administration, they're well aware of this particular theory, that is Hedgebeck's two-factor theory of motivation. So he identified two types of factors. How to motivate the workers? That is the question. How to motivate the workers? And based on his research, a well-recognized research, right? He identified two types of factors: hygiene factors and motivational factors. Hygiene factors that make teachers happy are not necessarily are the factors that motivate them. What is this confusion? So these are the hygiene factors. Hygiene factors, we need to provide, we means the institution, the employer, they need to provide these factors to make their employees happy, their teachers happy. What are they? Supervision, college policy, your relation with the head and principal, working conditions, salary. Are you satisfied with it? Are you satisfied with relations with colleagues, personal life, relations with subordinates, status, job security? See, many are present except one. It may be a source of dissatisfaction. All are fine except you are not happy about salary. It happens, no? See, we human beings, we compare with others in the same system, right? Counterparts. So I feel I'm well qualified and doing justice to my job, but somehow my salary, I'm not happy about it. It may be a source of dissatisfaction. Or sometimes I'm very happy about my personal life. Job is only secondary. Very happy about personal life. Job is just secondary. I'm not expecting so much from my job. Yes, no problem. Then personal life may be a source of motivation. I don't know. Normally, these are not motivators. Please remember, according to theory, Hedgebeck's theory, these are not motivators. These are maintenance factors. They will make the employees happy and satisfied. Then how to motivate the question, the mind-boggling question faced by the employer is, I'm providing all these things, but still my people are not working well. They are not motivated. Your students may be happy about relations. Students may be happy about some of these things. They may be getting scholarship. They may be happy about it. Working conditions in the college, they may be happy about it. College policy about that and this, they may be happy about it. But still we have a complaint against students that they are not studying well. What to do? Same complaint, our employers have against us. Then he has prescription. Hedgeberg has prescribed, if you want to motivate your employees, these are try to apply to our own situation. If in the process of doing PhD, right, you may derive motivation, job satisfaction as well, recognition. It may be best paper award, work itself. And so teaching provides immediate gratification. Research provides delayed gratification. But work itself, we enjoy it. when you publish a paper in a well-known journal like Indian Journal of Commerce, right? Then, I could understand it's not easy to publish a paper in Indian Journal of Commerce. You must have done a lot of groundwork for that. You might have published it in the recent issue, but behind that, 2 years back, you started doing some work. It may be based on your MPhil work or PhD chapter. Lot of hours you spent with your guide, lot of references, lot of reading, lot of corrections. Finally, it got acceptance. So it doesn't happen, it should not happen just before your promotion. When teaching is happening continuously, why not research? That is my question. When teaching is happening continuously, every day, all the time, why not research? In fact, research should happen more aggressively when there are more number of holidays, when there are weekends. I find it quite comfortable to write well, especially during weekends, because there is no disturbance. No disturbance. For writing what you need what do you need? Nothing. Data collection may be difficult, cumbersome, time consuming, field work. But once data is there, you need just calmness. You need only aspiration to write something. So when teaching is happening all through, all the years, why not research? Responsibility, IQAC coordinator. These days, we all know the kind of workload in higher education institutions, including colleges. Lot of paperwork these days compared to 20 years back. And governance systems, accreditation, assessment, participation in NIRF, all these things higher education institutions need to do. And implementation of NEP, advancement, research supervision. In Mizoram, we provided research supervision for the college teachers also. There are professors in colleges in Mizoram. And growth, a paper in Scopus Indexed Journal. So please remember, if I don't want to focus on these activities to motivate myself, then I'm afraid my job would become a boring task very soon. My lecture would become a boring task to me. I'm not telling about others' perspective. And one fundamental difference between these two is, you see, if you want to be happy with these things, fine. If one of these things become a source of motivation, fine, I have no problem. If you are very happy about salary and salary becomes a source of motivation, well, there is no problem. But what Hedgeberg said is, these things will only make you happy, but they don't motivate the employees. And please remember, supervision, college policy, relations, these things, so your satisfaction depends on some other external factors. These are all external factors. Your personal life, please remember, your personal life is not totally in your hands. College policy, totally not in your hands. Salary, someone has to give you. Status, society has to feel. Job security, someone has to provide. Working conditions, someone has to provide. Relations, depends on other fellow also. So please remember, these are not totally in our hands. That is why these are external factors. These are the factors relating to job context, whereas these are the factors, motivators, they are related to job content. Psychogenic. They should come from within, not external. Achievement, recognition, work itself, responsibility, advancement, growth. Every teacher, they won't feel these things. A few teachers are committed. So now, again, I'm going back to these questions. Are you a satisfied teacher? Are you a motivated teacher? Are you a capable teacher? Are you a committed teacher? If you are a motivated teacher, it is possible to enhance your capability. And it is reflected in our commitment. Right? So merely focusing on first question is not enough in our profession. Please remember, dear friends, we need to focus on the last three bullets. They are interrelated very much. Right? And So that's why just now I go back to the first 3-4 slides because of the paucity of time. I don't want to take much of your time, but please remember artificial intelligence in education, functions of AI in education, right? Forbes study on artificial intelligence and its influence on education, right? And these slides, I want to highlight with the help of these slides, right? And whether it is AI or ML, whatever may be the kind of technology, please remember they are not going to replace a good teacher. But they have already replaced bad teachers. Please remember. They have already replaced bad teachers. And when students are looking at the AI, when students are looking at the internet, when students are looking at these technologies, these gadgets for enhancing their knowledge, by reducing their dependence on teachers, then I would not blame the students. I would blame the teachers, and I would blame the education institution only. So please don't allow any technology to make you dispensable. Teachers, human teachers, because these days we have to call human teachers because AI is also a teacher according to some university. So they are saying no, we have AI, we have a robo lady teacher. One name is there, and they are saying our students are quite happy. And better we have so many AIs. Why to have human teachers? Human teachers create so many human problems. AI doesn't create any problem, and students are quite happy. If management of one particular university is feeling like that, if students are happy about that, then it is the teachers who are going to lose. Then technology is certainly a threat. But technology can't be a threat to a good teacher. Technology can't replace a good teacher because technology is only means. Technology is only a tool. And it is not an end by itself. So this is my submission as far as technology is concerned. And so this is what I just want to present, and I request the organizers to share this particular PPT with our participants. And so this is also very much important these days: values, ethics, and environmental consciousness, exploring linkages and education, deliberating on social and environmental issues in contemporary India, role of higher education in addressing issues like exclusion, inequality. These things we already discussed. So this is my final word, and enjoy the most stimulating journey as a teacher who could make a difference in the lives of their students. So thank you very much, and if you have any questions, you are free to raise those questions.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a wonderful disposition on the roles and responsibilities of the teacher in the context of NEP. I think we have some few questions. I think we'll post it on the
Yes,
screen. Yes.
yes, sir. Yes, please. Professor Rajesh, you are please, yeah.
Sir, some Professor V.S. Rao, he is
Mm-hmm.
asking about without implementation of NEP in all states, will we
Mm-hmm.
achieve the objective of NEP?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is one question. Any other questions? Yeah, I will take 2-3 questions, then I will answer. Yeah. NEP, it is about NEP implementation by states. Okay. Then any
Yes.
other questions? Yes. Any other questions?
This is about academic bank of credits is also not picking up at the large scale. So how the
Okay.
academic credit transfer mechanism will be implemented?
Yeah. Okay.
So I
Okay.
think both can be club. I mean, in a
Oh, yeah,
sense.
yeah. Yeah. Professor V.S. Rao. Professor V. This is from Professor V.S. Rao.
Yes, sir.
Which university? No idea. Okay.
I think he's
Yes,
from
sir.
our own college only. He is
Ah,
our
yes, yes.
faculty.
Yes, sir. Yes. So you see, very recently, there is a news item in newspapers that Karnataka state government they don't want to go for a 4-year UG programs, and they want to confine themselves to 3-year degree program. See, uh, state government is empowered to make such type of decisions. That is why what I feel is it may not be possible. It is a 60 plus pages document, NEP 2020, and it is like a roadmap, and it contains so many policy reforms, right? And it is up to the state government to execute what type of because states are different in terms of their approach and in terms of their resources also. And certain states like Mizoram and Nagaland, most of the colleges are government colleges. So such type of colleges, because most of the colleges are under the control of government because they are government colleges, and their approach is something different. They want to set up a skill development for the purpose of skill development. They want to set up a corporation, and they want to have collaboration with the colleges under their control. But there are states like UP, there are states like Tamil Nadu, there are states like Karnataka, there are states like Madhya Pradesh, very big states, right? And there are certain states, for example, if you take UP, UP is the state having the largest number of colleges in India. But in NIRF, top 100 colleges, you don't figure, I mean, you don't get even one college from UP. And if you take NIRF top 100 ranks, as far as colleges are concerned, 3 states, they account for 80% of those colleges. 80 colleges out of 100, they are from 3 states: Tamil Nadu, Delhi, and Kerala. So remaining 20 colleges, it is being shared by remaining 25 or 26 states. That is, why I want to give this particular example is, I mean, huge inequalities are prevalent as far as higher education is concerned across the country. So no two states are alike, actually. So it is up to this. So, but one should have vision. The state government, if Karnataka government says they want to focus on 3-year program, it's fine. But Karnataka government cannot say that we don't want skill development. They can't say that we don't want focus on entrepreneurship development. They can't say that we don't want interdisciplinary approach in our subject. Still, it is possible to achieve those things within 3 years also. So that is why it is possible for a college not to have collaboration with other institutions, right? But still, it is possible for them to achieve some of the goals of national education policy without, because ABC practically, we know, even though there is exit and entry option is there, practically many students from many colleges, they don't want to opt out, and we don't get students in between from other institutions also for different reasons. We all know that. That means on paper that policy is there, exit and entry, but no one is opting out and no one is coming in between. It's fine. So, but please remember, what is the thinking, what is the kind of philosophy behind each of these salient features of NEP that we have to understand. And their idea is they want to internationalize Indian higher education system. As many students are opting out, it is also possible to get some of the students from other countries. So even if 10 to 15% of colleges, I'm not expecting more than that, who are able to execute all these policy reforms in letter and spirit, I think to start with, it's fine. In the long run, we don't know what is going to happen. But my fundamental question is, the state governments and at university level, the governance and leadership of the university, they need to have some future perspective. They should have some vision about what they are going to achieve in next 5 years and next 10 years. Right? It doesn't mean you have to implement each and every aspect of NEP. It may not be possible. Maybe central universities maybe trying for it, but not. I don't think all universities are not trying for it. Right? Still, this NEP, despite the constraints, despite the challenges, despite the bottlenecks, still it is possible to have some vision at institution level, at state level, based on this NEP. I mean, I try to answer in a broad way.
Yes, sir. You rightly said the spirit has to be taken into the consideration. Let
Yes,
us
yes,
start with the skill development and other flexibility issues. Maybe
yes, yes.
multiple entry, multiple exit may not be possible at this stage
Mm.
because mostly education is in the concurrent list. The state
Yes,
government and
yes,
central government
yes,
both has to agree.
yes,
And
yes,
due to
yes,
some political compulsion, some state governments are there proactive, some are not so active.
yes,
So
yes,
that's
yes,
why there is some initial hiccups. But as you rightly mentioned, according to my opinion,
yes,
yes, the best possible things can be implemented. The
yes,
flexibility
yes,
system,
yes,
the enhancement of choice-based grade system further level is
yes,
always
yes, yes.
good side.
Again, it depends on the SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis of the college, because colleges in the same city also they differ as far as the ecosystem is concerned. The strengths and weaknesses are concerned, right?
Sir, somebody has commented, Dr. G.P. Sudhakar commented,
Yeah.
uh, the same, I think you can read it on the screen. Just to add, NEP gives interdisciplinary approach to students to get their degrees. However, with respect to faculty qualifications of interdisciplinary approach should be accepted by professorship in a stream.
Mm.
This is a governance issue, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So as faculty, I can see because that is why we need to develop interdisciplinary approach in our teaching. Also, we should not simply confine to same concepts or following same subject, same textbook, right? Instead of that, while designing the syllabus, also we need to have some interdisciplinary approach because these days our employers, the prospective employers of our students, they are expecting our students to be helpful for them in different positions, right? And our students cannot say, I know only this thing and I got training only in this particular task, but I don't have much, I didn't study about this particular task. It is not possible because impact of AI, if you see impact of AI, artificial intelligence on jobs, as per some estimation that 20 to 25% of jobs which are currently available in the market, they are going to disappear in next 5 to 6 years. Then our students cannot say that we can't learn new things, right? So that is why we need to have that particular type of approach while teaching our students. And it is not possible in higher education. We all know it is not possible to teach A to Z, but we should develop learning curiosity, research bent of mind, passion for knowledge. Such type of qualities, if we could impart in our students, then they're going to be lifetime learners.
Correct.
Hmm?
Yes, sir. I think we are
Yeah.
done with the questions.
Okay. So maybe they don't want to trouble me so much.
It's not like that.
Okay.
Actually, the challenges are many as far as NEP implementations are concerned, but there are several good salient features where the role is
Mm.
shifted to the teacher to be more flexible,
Yes, sir.
more
Yes,
proactive.
yes,
As you said, they should be a continuous learner.
yes, yes, yes.
As in the last week, Mr. Elon Musk is telling, in future
Mm.
there may not be any work for anybody in this world to do. If that is a
Mm.
hypothetical situation, we are heading into a new world.
No, that
So
is
there may not be much work to do because of artificial intelligence is going to the next level. Yesterday also I observed the NVIDIA company, which is
mm.
producing artificial intelligence related chips or microprocessors, become the
Mm.
second largest market capitalized company in this world. That means
Mm.
slowly the valuations of AI related companies is enormously at a premium level. They are commanding that shows the future direction. Unless the education policymakers and the
Mm.
stakeholders, including
Yes,
teachers, students, and the parents, maybe the society, civil service bodies, they have to be proactive in terms of making the learning more knowledge oriented, skill oriented, or
yes,
self learning oriented.
yes,
NEP
yes,
is definitely a
yes,
step
yes,
in the right direction in that
yes.
sense.
Well said. Well said. Yeah. Well said.
So I think with this, I think we have done with the sessions are like, as you said, this is a pan-India FDP. We have representatives from Nagpur University, even Tamil Nadu, even
Yeah.
Mizoram,
Yeah.
and largely from Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka.
Nice.
So we are very grateful to you, sir, for kindly sparing your valuable time
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
insights. As you said, why not teaching and research should go hand in hand? So you raise
Yes,
a
yes.
very important question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Research-based teaching. Yesterday we had a wonderful session with Professor Kanojia,
Yeah.
Naina Kanojia of Delhi University.
Yes,
Tomorrow
yes.
also we are having another important topic, which is very pertinent to the faculty members. I think Professor Pati is from Nehu University, Northeastern
Pati.
Delhi University.
Yeah.
He is,
Ambika Prasad Pati. Is the pronunciation is Pati.
sorry, sir. Yeah, Ambika
P-A-T.
Prasad. Yes, sir.
Pati. Yeah. Yeah.
Ambika Prasad Pati is going to address us in the topic like changing dynamics of research.
Oh,
As we are, FDP is focused more on research
yes,
also.
yes. Yes,
So we are looking forward to that particular session. And for the benefit of participants, we are also lined up with other two sessions on Sunday and Monday also. Professor Arun Kumar is addressing about the uh, Bloom's taxonomy and the changing pedagogical requirements in that context. The last day, we have a renowned professor, Shotria, is talking about uh, higher education in the society. The symbiotic relation between society and higher education is going to address as a parting session for the last day of
Nice.
the
Nice.
Friday FDP. So
Very
with this,
useful. Yeah.
sir, with this, I profusely thank on behalf of
Thank you. Thank
PDC
you. Thank you.
College of Arts and Science for kindly accepting our request to be the resource person of today's session. Your session is so enlightening and it is so interesting. So it's very simple and your communication is so direct. So it is well connected to all the audience participants, I believe. I request all the participants to take advantage of this FTP and we will be sharing the feedback link in the WhatsApp group. I request everybody to actively engage in the coming days sessions also. With this, we are signing off from our side. Once again, I
Thank
thank Professor NVR Jyoti Kumar of Mizoram University for facilitating a lot of resources for conducting of this particular FDP. Thank you very much. Have a nice
Thank
time.
you.
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. And I enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you,
giving
sir.
me this opportunity. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. We are signing off the session. Sir.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. I will close. Yeah.